Welcome, Trekkers, and thanks for joining us on another adventure with Tilt Trek. We're here where we started. We're back here in Schaumburg, Illinois, at the Antarium, which has become the mega hub for tournament play, especially in Illinois and around all the major manufacturers that are based out of Chicago. We're here today, we're in tie-dye, because of the fact that our sponsor, Double Danger and Soft Plunge, said the game you're going to be playing needs to have an equally bright piece of clothing. So I hope that gives you a little bit of a clue of what we're about to go look at and play. Lead programming is Bill Grupp. And you may know Bill Grupp from Williams days, but you should definitely know him as Jersey Jack. So you have two clues so far: brightly colored and lead programmer Bill Grupp. But in the process of doing this also, we get to do our very first giveaway. And we are giving away a banner from this fantastic game. And this game looks great. And the banner that you're going to be able to win looks equally great. In order for you to win the banner, wait till the end credits and we'll tell you exactly what you need to do. Thanks for joining us, and we're glad you're here, and I hope you enjoy this game. I know we sure do. Let's take a look at this beautiful game. Now I realize we looked at this game once already in a previous video, but here we're not at Expo, and while we're in Antarium, we can get a much closer look at this game. So the first thing that Elton is telling us to do is choose a song. So right now we have Ben and the Jets, Do Your Song, Saturday Night It's Alright, Rocket Man, Tiny Dancer, Your Sister Can't Twist, Honky Can't, the classic Pinball Wizard, I'm Still Standing, The Bitch Is Back, Crocodile Rock, Leave On, Philadelphia for Freedom, Take Me to the Pilot, and Back to Yellow Brick Road. So let's go ahead, and that's where we started. That's where we're going to start this game up, and then we'll do a quick tour.
Goodbye, Yellow Brick Road.
All right, so let's take a look at this game. So coming around this game here, we get to choose what our skill shots are, which means we can change it.
Pick your skill shot.
And it lights up different shots that we're going for. Move your flipper here to be able to choose your skill shot and what you're going for.
Pick your skill shot.
We can see Elton is getting antsy as he's tapping away on his keyboard. But let's take a look at this shot. So you're going to launch the ball. It immediately goes up this habit trail. I like doing a soft plunge to here, bringing it back to this flipper right there, that upper flipper. Other shots we have on the right hand side, we can hit the Rocket Man drop target right here, and that opens up the Rocket Man multi-ball lane, which is a habit trail that shoots up from there, wraps around, and drops back onto this ramp. We've got two horseshoe-style ramps in which you go through the big spinner, and it flips around and comes back safely to the right lane in front of your flipper. And we have this ramp that takes you quickly around and brings you down, heading towards your left flipper. We have a ball lock here, which pops up, so a vuck, and puts it safely off of that habit trail right down into the outlane. And then you have the crocodile, which which we use as a ball lock for crocodile multi-ball, and it also functions as a vuck, brings it back down safely into the right out lane. We have a series of drop targets here. Oh, and that launched the ball. Gets into the tops. And then down to the ground. Sculpts on this game are cool. Gotta love seeing our tiny dancer dancing around. Elton John and the rocket and the crocodile. We looked at the outside before, but again, you just can't say enough about Franchi's great radicals that have so much gold flake in them. It is just cool. You get the great pinball tribute from Tommy, and then both sides of the game, the artwork is different. But pinball's a game of motion, so let's get in motion and join our friends. All right, hi, Glenn Hoffman.
Hi, Bill Grupp.
Bill, I have known of you and have seen you since Williams days. This is fantastic to meet you in person.
Oh, you too.
So we're here because of the fact that we're going to be taking a look at your latest creation from Jersey Jack, and that is this beautiful game, Elton John.
Thank you.
Before we do that, you've had a lot of involvement at Jersey Jack, and so I just think people need to get a chance to know who you are, because you've been around since Williams days. So who is Bill Grupp, and how did he get into this type of business? What do you do?
You want to go all the way back to the start?
Let's find out.
Well, when I got out of college, 1991, there was a recession.
Okay.
Very hard to come by jobs. And I went, months and months and months sending out resumes, not getting any response. And the responses I got were, thank you, you just don't have enough experience. So I needed a job and ended up going to a temporary agency.
Okay.
Just trying to find anything I could. And, they're like, well, what skills do you have? And I said, well, I can work on electronics. I know how to do software. I know how to solder. And they're like, you know how to solder? And so I ended up working in the Williams factory. I worked I did some soldering. I worked in the quality department, actually testing games at the end of the line. And it was one of the things where when you walked in the door to that place, it was this just bubble of excitement. I mean, the noise, the smell, the people there, it was, I knew that's where I wanted to be when I walked in the door. And so I spent, every chance I had on the line in the factory trying to introduce myself to people in engineering.
Okay.
And eventually met Chuck Blake, who works for Stern now, and he hired me into engineering from the factory floor.
So,
But yeah, there's people that worked at Williams at Jersey Jack. There's a lot of people that worked at Williams at Stern still. I have quite a few friends over there that, 30 years later, we're still in the pinball business.
well, this is awesome. So then you came on board with Jersey Jack for Willy Wonka? Or when did you make the jump into Jersey
They
Jack?
had already started Willy Wonka when I got there. They were in the middle of it. And there's a lot of history before that. Apparently they had started that much earlier and then had stopped it and switched to something else and
Okay.
went back to it. Before my time, I don't know all the details. But I came in the middle of that game and spent my time trying to get up to speed on their system, which is quite a bit different than Williams.
Okay.
Different technology. Williams was 6809 processor. We wrote all in assembly language. And 25 years later, we're on a PC-based system. It's all in C++. It's much higher level language. It's, lot to get caught up on. So.
But it all started because you could solder.
Yes, it did. Yes,
So
it did.
of the places then, Jersey Jack, Williams, which one is easier to work at? Or which one do you enjoy more? Let's go that way.
So Williams was probably the most exciting place I've ever worked. I mean, they had 8 design teams going at the time I started, right? You think of all the game designers that came out of there. 8 design teams, some of the most, creative, smartest people I've ever worked with. Some of them are still friends with Larry DeMar, for example. Larry DeMar is the programmer. He created Robotron, Stargate Defender, right? But programmer for Addams Family.
Okay.
Right. A lot of Pat Lawler games, right? And he was my boss before Jersey Jack, right? I worked for him at Leading Edge Design. Smartest person I've probably met. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
And that is true of almost everybody that worked at Williams at that time. Just amazingly smart people, amazingly creative people, and that's all through the departments, the design, engineering, mechanical, sound, programming. Smartest people, most creative people I've ever met.
That's great. But that's just an amazing piece of information to have.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Well, on this game, you found yourself as lead programmer.
Correct.
Okay. So as the lead programmer, I think what we want to do is pinball is a game of motion, so we want to get in the motion here. And I'd like you and I to play a game.
Okay.
And in the process of playing a game, what I'd like you to do is talk me through it like you would, we're hanging out. Do you have any games at home?
I have every game I worked on at home. So
Okay.
I think I'm up to 9 or something like that.
So you have 9 games at home. Your new game comes home. Your buddy comes on over. You're proud of the game. How are you telling him to tackle this game so that he sees the stuff that you're pumped about?
Okay.
Because
Well, and that's different for each person too. Not everybody is going to take the same path. I mean, not everybody will be comfortable making some of the shots. So
Okay.
everybody's got their, if you're right or left-handed, maybe you've got one you prefer. I have the way I play the game, but it's not the right way. It's not the only way, and that's true of every game that I own.
Well, let's go ahead and get us 2 players started.
I hope you enjoy my game.
I do too, Elton. That is really it's just amazing, and on that big screen, it just looks so cool. So, if you were going to play a song, is there a preferred song for your strategy?
I tell most people just pick what their favorite song is.
Okay.
The rules are slightly different for each song, but pick the song you like, and then pick one you're familiar with. A lot of people pick Pinball Wizard.
It's pretty much
Right. How many chances do you have to make a game and actually use the song Pinball Wizard?
Yeah.
Right? It's a once in a lifetime thing for me, right?
I agree. I agree.
Take Me to the Pilot's one of my favorite songs, just in general, by Elton.
And that's where I was going. So
Yeah.
I'm like going, so let's
That's
go
a
ahead
great
and
song.
see what we got here. So I've started it off. I have my choices of skill shots. I can see them rotating.
Yep.
I've been doing a half plunge to the flipper and trying to catch it up the left ramp
Right.
for the super.
So, super skill shot is either the left ramp or the backstage shot, which is that little lane next to the ramp.
Okay.
So that's the O shot. Any one of the 5 skill shot things. One will help you with rocket now multi-ball. One will help you with signature stage multi-ball. Again, choose your path.
Okay. Well, let's just leave it to random dumb luck and see what we get.
So, and then the pink shot
Oh,
showing
an
you the
over
skill shot.
What was showing me the skill shots? The pink?
The pink lights are the skill shot. Yeah. So
Okay.
when you plunge the ball, it'll show you what's available for skill shot. And like you said, the soft plunge has the upper flipper shots. But if you do the full plunge, it comes around and you can shoot for the rocket box, the drop targets.
Okay, so we're sitting right here. We missed our skill shot. We've got a ball trapped. What is your next thought? Are we going for the hurry up right away? Are we going for lighting the lock? What would you?
So the main thing that the hurry up gives you is relighting kickback. So your kickback's lit right now, so you can wait on the hurry up a little bit later.
Okay.
So For me, the two main paths when I start the game are either going for a signature stage multi-ball
Okay.
or going for one of the other multi-balls, Crocodile Rock or Rocket Man multi-ball.
Okay.
So signature stage, you have to spell out all the letters in Elton John. So
Okay.
there's 9 shots that have a star with a letter, right?
Okay.
Elton, John.
Right, across the platform.
They're
Okay.
blue, showing you you're shooting for those to light lock for signature stage, you know, each one. Those are one of the things you can get help from skill shot too. A skill shot will give you some of those letters.
Okay.
So that's one path. For Crocodile Rock, you want to light lock. That's the shot right here. This is light lock, the
Okay.
target. And each time you hit that target, it will light up a lock on Crocodile Rock. So you
Okay.
have to
So
go
tiny, tiny dancer, crocodile.
Crocodile. And you just, it takes 2 for the first multi-ball first time you play.
Okay.
So that's another strategy is you could get Crocodile Rock started.
Okay.
And then while Crocodile Rock is going, you could work on collecting the letters for Elton
For Elton John. Makes sense. Let's try that.
Sure.
Good missed.
But you got a letter, right?
Right. So I'm working my way up.
There are some good prizes in the drop targets, the rocket box, but there's a lot of risk there too. That ball comes right back at you pretty quick. So.
Okay. Well, we're collecting our Elton John, even though I probably shouldn't have said out loud that I was trying to go for my crocodile when I have done a better job of collecting letters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have the lock lit, right? You have the lock lit, so all you have to do is make that shot to the crocodile.
Okay. So now I need to go back to getting my honky cat so that I can. Okay, so I don't think I'm backhanding that.
There you go. So now the hurry up will be a different choice to make the shot each time.
Okay.
So this time is the center drop target. Probably got one more chance. Yeah, you got it. And that relights the kickback. So that shot that you have to make for the hurry up moves around each time you have to relight it.
Gotcha.
And it gets harder the farther you get into the game.
So when do you get pulled in on a project like this? I mean, are you pulled in as soon as they say, let's do Elton John? Are you brought in after Steve Richie goes, hey, I want my buddy? Or how does that go?
It varies a little bit from game designer to game designer. For the most part, it's at the start when they decide on the theme, when they decide on the license.
Okay.
Because it really needs to be a team effort to figure out the direction of the game. But like I said, every game designer is a little different. Some are more likely to have input into the direction of the rules, and some are less likely. That was very true at Williams too. Some game designers would just draw a playfield and leave all of the rules up to the software guy.
Oh, I trapped a ball. I'm waiting for it to launch and it's sitting there on my flipper.
Oh, you locked a ball, so now you get a chance to another skill shot.
There we go.
So there's the pink shots you can make.
Yep.
You hit it. One more chance. Almost. Almost.
Yeah, the programmer should leave more time there.
Yeah. So you've completed enough letters now to spell out Elton John, so lock is lit for signature stage. And that's the side ramp, the piano ramp shot. So the T shot. You can see the green star is lit to lock the ball for signature stage.
So now we're shooting for the green T's.
Yep. And that, I prefer to make the right ramp shot to feed the upper flipper. It comes a little slower than making the left orbit.
Okay.
So there you go.
There we go. So we locked one in the piano. That's really cool.
Yep.
You know, we had a chance in our previous video to talk to Mark, and he was very proud of the 8-bit work that he was doing there. That was.
Yeah, well, he put a lot of time into doing the animations for the piano.
Well, and it's just cool, everything you see, and it even has words that are spelling out to let you know, that you're in a mode or something like that, which is just.
There's a couple places where it does the words to the song too. It's really, really neat when it shows
Really?
up. Oh yeah, yeah. But I always laugh when Mark is working on that. that display on the piano, it's 57 pixels wide and 10 pixels tall. It is tiny. And when he is drawing that on his screen, he's got a big, he's a graphic artist. He's got this gigantic screen. He's drawing this, and it's this little tiny thing on his screen. And even if he blows it up to where it's like 200, 300% original size, it's still this little tiny thing where he's just doing little dots at a time to draw it.
That's amazing.
And Philadelphia Freedom. I kind of like the light show on Philadelphia Freedom.
Okay, cool. So now, what's your skill shot of choice?
I'm going to try for some rocket fuel to see if I can get Rocket Man going.
Okay.
We'll see. So just about every shot that you make gives you a little bit of fuel.
Okay.
And you're trying to fill up that meter on the bottom right side of the display.
Okay.
Try to fill the rocket up with fuel.
Okay. So I can see the stuff pumping into there.
Got a little bit, but got a ways to go.
Okay.
And while I'm working on that, I'll see if I can get a few balls locked for Crocodile Rock.
Okay. And then,
So there's one.
so there's your first ball locked for Crocodile Rock. And then for your Rocket Man multi-ball, when do we need to hit the drop target?
So the drop target will add fuel, but that's also the shot to start Rocket Man. So once it is lit, that's the start shot for
Okay.
Rocket Man.
So you worked with Steve Richie on this one.
Yes.
Did you know Steve Richie from back in the Williams days?
Everybody knew Steve Richie at Williams. Yeah, I actually had the office across the hall from him for about 2.5 years. But this is the first time I've actually worked on one of his games. I was in the building at Williams, I was a programmer, but never actually did anything on his games until this game.
So what kind of neighbor was Steve Richie when you were working across the hallway? Is he a quiet guy in his office?
Steve is a loud guy. There's always music going in his room. I think, since then we've both changed and matured and had lots of different experiences. So I think we worked really well together. I think we had a lot of fun. It's been almost exactly a year since I started working on this game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, February. I looked back to my notes. February 6th is when I started working on this game.
So is that longer or shorter than you would expect in a traditional game?
I think it's for that position, for lead programmer, I think that's about what you'd expect.
Okay.
Steve has, an additional 8 or 9 months that he put work into it before I started working on this game. He started, pencil and paper, started thinking about playfield ideas long before I started working on the game.
Okay.
So,
Now, when you were his roommate, or not roommate, but across the hallway from him at Williams, did you ever hear him playing Elton John?
yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember him playing Elton John. I don't. I'm not saying he didn't. I just don't remember.
Correct. I'm like going, because what is the Steve Richie style of music that you would expect to hear pumping out of his office at Williams?
Well, you think of the games he's done. High Speed always had the ZZ Top.
Correct.
Strong guitar influence. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he
Okay.
plays guitar, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's the end of our game.
Yeah, I think you won that one.
Hey, we'll take that.
All right, the other thing you can do in the game is all the rules for the songs.
Okay.
And so every shot for a song has a note, right? So there's
Okay.
a yellow note, yellow note, yellow note. And as you're picking your song, we show you what the shots are going to be when you start that song. So the notes change as you're picking songs. And they do different things depending on the rules. Sometimes the shots are the same. Sometimes you make a shot that goes out. Some of the songs, the shots move around like a roving shot.
Okay.
Some songs have more shots lit, right? They're a little different for every song because some songs are longer than others. Some songs are shorter. Sister Can't Twist is just over 2 minutes, and Tiny Dancer is close to 5. So change the rules a little bit for each song. But what you're trying to do is the same thing. You're trying to collect enough notes to get each of the items, the glasses, the shoes, the outfit, right?
So where does that type of idea come from? I mean, I've never seen us dressing a person in pinball before. So I'm just, who comes up with those types of ideas?
So this is kind of the creative process, and to me it works best with as many people as you can get involved.
Okay.
Because, just me and Steve or just me alone, we're not going to come up with all the ideas. We'll come up with a few, but the more people you have, the more ideas you come up with.
Okay.
And you start looking at, we look at the style guide that we get from Elton John, we look at all of the assets we get from them, we get pictures, we get video, we get music, and you start spitballing, you start throwing ideas at the wall, you start brainstorming, and that's where you get ideas like this. Oh, we should collect all these iconic things from Elton John's past. His outfits are just over the top.
Right.
That's his persona, right? And you look at all the different outfits he has, there's literally this lifetime of outfits where he's gone through different phases, different stages of his life, and each of those, we tried to associate with a particular song or an album.
Okay.
And we worked with the licensor to get the ones that he would prefer for that set. Right?
Okay, so that was true to licensor.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, we came up with the idea, and then we worked with them to get them to approve things they thought would go together, right?
So someone threw out in a spitball session, let's do outfits.
Right.
Which again,
Right.
I still find interesting because knowing that you collect Buicks and knowing that Steve Richie is another car guy and stuff like that, motorcycles.
Yep.
I'm just going, okay, so someone threw out, let's do outfits, and that just seems like that was idea that was there. So what would be an idea that maybe didn't stick?
Idea that didn't stick.
Because outfits and clothing stuck.
Well,
I'm curious what would have been thrown out that went no.
Well, I wanted sequins. I wanted sequins everywhere because, getting things that are flashy and extravagant and stuff like that, sequins just didn't work in a pinball machine.
Okay,
But
that's funny.
we did end up with more glitter on this game than any other game I've seen.
So what is the tilt sequence for a tilt for Elton John?
So we got this really cool, one of the assets we got from the licensor is all of the videos they show on stage behind the band members.
Okay.
And they have this really cool sequence from Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. It's this animated cartoon that's about 2.5 minutes long. And you see it, we use it all through the game. You see it in Match, and you see it in Extra Ball.
Okay.
And you see it in Replay, and we use part of it for the tilt sequence too.
Okay.
But it's this 2.5 minute long video that nobody else has had access to other than what you can see at the concert.
Wow.
We have the entire thing in the game. And we literally cut it up to use it every place we could because it's so cool and it's so quintessential Elton John.
And so unique too. I mean, that way, if you were
There's the glasses.
look at that.
Yep.
So we did get our glasses.
Yep. So now I'm trying to collect the orange notes to get the shoes.
Okay.
So now all the notes have changed to orange,
Okay.
right? And they've moved around a little bit. And they're
Okay.
blinking orange and white, and that means that I have double song lit. So for 20 seconds, each of the notes is worth twice as much.
Okay.
Of course, I burned up some of that just telling you.
Yeah, that's all right.
So I need 6 more orange shots to get the shoes. But the cool thing is once you get the outfit collected, that qualifies victory laps. And so if you can get to victory laps early in the song, victory laps last as long as the song is playing.
So as long as the song's playing.
Yep. And it's every shot is lit for a million plus.
So then would that be something that's better to do during a longer song like Tiny Dancer, or?
Well, yes. But again, the rules are different for each song, so
Okay.
it may take you more shots to get to victory
Get in the
lap
first place. Gotcha.
in the longer song.
You've got all of your games that you've ever worked on at home, which is the one that you find yourself playing the most?
I still, well, I like Star Trek Next Generation.
Okay.
I still like Congo. Congo is the last game that I was lead programmer on before
Okay.
this one. So 27 years between.
A bit of a gap there.
Yeah, a bit of a gap. But there's other ones that I think are interesting. I really like Dirty Harry has this weird, I'm going to say weird, it has this cool interaction where it's the Clint Eastwood thing. And I just, it's fun to play because of the stuff that he says in that game. But yeah,
That's awesome.
they're all interesting and fun to play. But
So, Elton John, did you ever have anything directly from Elton, or was everything from Elton's people?
I didn't get to meet Elton.
Okay,
I
well,
mean, he was on tour the entire time we were working on this game.
Okay.
His tour ended in, I believe, August. His last date was in August. And a lot of those were makeup dates for shows that were canceled because it was his final show was supposed to be in London.
okay,
And then everything after that, and I believe that was in June, but everything after that was makeup dates. So most of the time that we were working on this game, he was on tour and not available.
okay,
And we were really lucky to actually get his speech recorded. He did that in one of his, he had a session for his podcast, which is the Rocket Hour.
okay.
And he took time out of that to do our speech recording.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like it. That's when
Yeah.
you were talking about Dirty Harry and the speech out of that, but
Yeah.
that was not, back in the day, we didn't usually get the person.
Right.
You
right.
know, and so getting to
Yes.
hear Sir Elton
Yes.
talking while doing this game,
Yeah.
even though you and I wouldn't say we tore it up, but we definitely got a chance to explore
Yeah.
a lot of what is here, and it is an absolutely, truly beautiful and amazing game.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
we're going to keep playing, but it's just like going. But I really think this is just something that
Yeah.
you can see it online, but you can't see this.
Yeah.
And the amount of depth that you've put in this game, it seems like everywhere we're going, there's something more that we could be doing and
Yeah.
and adding and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and it's just
Yeah.
amazing.
The total package, the way it came together, all the people that worked on the game, is really just amazing to me because it's so much more than just the collection of parts. It's, the artwork, the sound, the music, the rules, the light shows. I haven't said it. Duncan Brown did a lot of the light shows. Just amazing work he did on some of this stuff.
This is amazing. You can see the amount of team effort into here,
Yeah.
but it also shows your vast amount
I'm
of
gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
it. I might leave that in there just because that's as Godfather was not going to not be talking during the game, but no, it really does reflect the amount of experience that you've had. Also, we so often hear, the game designer, but just knowing that this modern type of machine is no longer just a play field.
Right.
There
Right.
is
Right.
all these other things that we're experiencing because of teams like yourself, and
Yeah.
we sure do appreciate it more than I can ever express for the rest of us. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Please visit our sponsor, Comet Pinball. Comet Pinball has what you need to make your dim machines look better than new. They have the largest selection of bulbs from the exotic to the mundane, and even their exclusive matrix lighting system, which makes it easy to boldly add lighting where no lighting has gone before. Visit cometpinball.com. All right, thanks for making it to the end of the video. So let's talk about our very first contest. Thank you, Jersey Jack, for donating our banner, and let's talk about how you're going to win it. But before you know how to win it, let me show you what you're about to win. So what you have a chance of winning is this great banner from Elton John. He's got his big E, and look at this. That is the original Pinball Wizard. That is one heck of a prize. So let's go over the rules. So how do you win? After watching this video, go ahead and like this video and make sure you've subscribed to our YouTube channel. Once you've subscribed to our YouTube channel, put a comment in the comment section of this video. If you do that, you'll be entered. Comment can be as simple as banner, but it could be something like, hey, this portion of Bill Grupp was fascinating. Whatever comments you want to make, be nice. We read them all, and we love you all. And then as a bonus, just as a tweak of a bonus, if you also then go to our Facebook page and you like, subscribe, and comment there, we'll put your name in twice. So you get 2 votes. You don't have to, but you can. But remember, like, subscribe, comment. That's how we can count you all the way through. When do you have to have this done by? Let's draw on Cinco de Mayo. It just seems to, I don't know what it has anything to do with, but it's brightly colored. Elton John's brightly colored. You need to be in by midnight on or May 4th. Then we'll go ahead and we're going to count up all those people who liked, subscribed, and made a comment. And we'll do a big drawing on Cinco de Mayo Live. So watch for it. It'll be a great hoot, and I hope you win. For our international viewers, I could ship this to anywhere, but the difference would be is my costs are going to get a lot different, but I don't want to exclude you. So if you're an international winner, I'll give you a buzz. I'll reach you through the messages. And when I do, what I'll be asking you is going, here's what shipping is going to be to get to your country. If you're up for paying for it, it's yours. If not, we will go to our second winner. That will be someone from the continental United States. If you're in the continental United States, on the other hand, it's free. Sorry, we don't want to exclude anybody, but at the same point in time, we're just a little bitty vlog. So we appreciate it. Good luck, everybody. Remember, get your votes in by May 4th at midnight Central Standard Time. And thanks for joining us, as always, on Tilt Trek.
Let's go on a road trip with the sun in our face. We have a full tank of gas. We can go any place, north, south, east, west. It doesn't really matter. Let's leave this town. We can drive forever. It doesn't get any better than this. Yeah, let's go on a road trip. It doesn't get any better than this. Yeah, let's go on.